What's up, family? It's cold as a mother outside, but I gotta keep the moment hot. You know what I mean? Just with social commentary that hopefully will ignite your chemical structure, make you start to think. Because that's what we get away from. We get away from thinking. We start to become reactionaries, impulsive people that start to react off of any and everything that's placed before us. When what's placed before us is false. But our reaction is as if it's true. And therefore we place ourselves in predicaments that is unsavory. that takes away from our greatness. That takes away from our natural shine. That takes away from our natural position as the epitome of man. You know what I mean? And when I'm saying man, I don't necessarily mean the male. I mean man as in man, woman, and child. The original. But what I'm talking about today is just the simple fact that we hold ourselves back for whatever reason from greatness. Greatness is right on the cusp of us grabbing it. But it's like we're scared. We're scared to touch greatness. We'll talk about it. Oh, we'll talk about it. Oh, we come from this, we come from that. But we don't put forth the effort. We don't put forth the intelligence as a collective unit to be that which we claim. We rather just, be satisfied with surviving. We satisfied with our little 9 to 5 because it gave us a little bit of luxury. And we're not used to that because on the slave plantations, a decade ago, we had absolutely nothing. So we was taught. So we was treated as we had absolutely nothing. But we had everything. Because we had ourselves. We had our collective intelligence. We have our collective resourcefulness, our resiliency. We have the genetics of ancestors that predates civilization. The universe itself, the structures, the molecular structures that make the universe itself is comprised in our skin. Our DNA, melanin. But we act like we're so disconnected from our ancestors. We take on the labels that other people place on us because they fear our greatness. They fear it. And I'm not saying that every body fears our greatness. But the ones who control the financial resources, the media, which the intellectual resources that we have, they fear us and our greatness. And they know that we're on the cusp of it. Because as the internet began to expand, so did our minds. So did our capabilities of researching exactly who we are. Not who we were. We were slaves. But who we are gods and goddesses. Point blank, period. Pharaohs, lords, lordesses, emperors, empresses. Empresses. You know what I mean? We get away from that. And we adopt things like thugs. We adopt, and I'm guilty of that. Because I'm known as an intellectual thug amongst my peoples. And I just adopted their way of life. I said, the American dream, yeah, I'm going to get that by any means. when I don't need to have the American dream. I don't need to have the American dream when I have the universal reality. What's a dream? A dream is a seedling to reality. We have the reality. And we just push ourselves away from it because it seems like we're scared of the responsibility of being God, of being a goddess. Because therefore, a lot of the things that we do that we know ain't right, we can't do. And I don't know where people get it that God is all good. God isn't all good. Because if God was all good and he's the creator of everything, then where did the devil come from? God obviously had a negative seed within himself to create devil. So you can't be all good. Everything in life has duality. Heaven, there's a hell. There's a spirit, there's a flesh. There's a positive, there's a negative. We're the biochemical composition of all of that. Both polar opposites. So you can't be all good. And then in the Bible, it tells you that God wasn't all good. Because in the Bible, it tells you that the Israelites was about to get murked by God. If it wasn't for Moses sitting down talking to him, because God was jealous that they was worshiping someone other than him. Jealousy is a negative inclination that comes from ego. Ego comes from emotion. Emotion isn't logic. Emotion may try to appear to be logic, but it's not logic. Emotion is clouds. It's before your proverbial eyes, your third eye, that clouds the perception of what's real, of what's logic, of what's rational. God isn't emotional. We have emotions. We have them. But we keep them in check. We're not to be governed by them. So when we as a people start to govern our emotions and stop moving off of the slightest impulse, greatness will be right there in our clutch. We will see ourselves. When we look in the mirror, we will see God. We ain't going to see this depiction of what God may look like coming from a alien source. And when I'm saying alien, I'm saying a person that's other than self. I don't mean no extraterrestrial. I'm talking about somebody other than self that's giving you their rendition of their God. But they know who God is. Science is you can argue science, but 1 and 1 will always equal 2. I can argue. You can try to sit down and argue me all day. It is 3, but 1 and 1 is 2. Science is indisputable, and what else is indisputable is that we are the original people. We are the gods and goddesses of the universe. This galaxy right here, it's not the universe, but it's a part of the universe. And you have other galaxies, millions of other galaxies. And all those galaxies is just like a representation of us and our thoughts, or whether it's us and our family, our kind, our brotherhoods. The Million Man March was like a million galaxies, to give you a better understanding of what I mean. So I want my people to wake up. No. Let me take that back. I need my people to wake up. Wake the fuck up. Open your eyes. This one is one I'm more concerned about. Wake that up. Study. Do your research. Just don't stick to one particular doctrine. Study them all. I studied all of them. All the major ones anyway. And all of them say the exact same thing. The God for which you seek is yourself. We spend too much time worshiping the purveyor of the message instead of the message itself. We will go to war about the purveyor of the message instead of listening entirely to the message. To be that God, to be that guard, G-A-U-R-D, to be that guide, to be that good that you look for out of life. You're my people. I love you. So I'm always going to share with you. Even if you get tired of seeing my face, hearing my voice, whatever, I'm going to share with you. If it's only one person that look at this video, I'll be like, hey, at least I touched one person. That's my job. Hell, that's what all the other people that came before me, all my predecessors did. They touched one person and then it ultimately spread. Because this is truth. This is ultimate truth. This is axiomatic truth. You can try to deny it, and I would love for you to try. Let's battle wit for wit if you think you got it solved. I would love to, but don't understand this.